This Ag Business Update brought to you by American Implement, indebted to the past, committed to the future. It's Co-op Month. We'll talk about it with Brandi Miller from the Kansas Co-op Council in just a moment.
Wolfter Construction and Irrigation has been around a long time, and a lot of folks have trusted them to design, build, and service all sizes of commercial and on-farm storage for grain and equipment. Wolfter is also known for their outstanding irrigation division, where they stock a complete selection of nozzles, regulators, drops, gear drives, electrical, and structure components. Looking for an electric motor? Wolfter has a large selection in single and three-phase. Next time, reach out to the pros who have decades of experience at taking care of business the right way. Wolfter Construction and Irrigation. When you've had a best friend for over 50 years, you develop a trust. And the Scott Co-op has been a trusted rural friend since 1957. A co-op keeps money in the area, doing business for and with their members. And that helps keep their hometown thriving with keeping money in the community. Scott Co-op is not just an elevator. It's the rural way of doing business. So, when you see an elevator, remember your friends at Scott Co-op.
And joining us now is Brandi Miller, who is the president and CEO of the Kansas Cooperative Council. Hi, Brandi.
Good morning, Ken. How are you today?
Doing well. It's hard to believe, but it's already October, which means it's National Cooperative Month. We've celebrated about halfway through, but I know, and even as cooperatives, they really do kind of celebrate all year.
That is very true. That is true. My favorite month of the year for lots of reasons. Usually it's cooler. Unfortunately, we haven't seen that quite yet. But definitely they celebrate throughout the year and try to really step up their game in October.
Let's talk about, I'm sure people have heard of a co-op, cooperatives. Depends on where you are in the state. Many of us, first thing that pops into our mind is those grain elevators, those grain terminals all over. But as we get further in different parts of the state, more populated, it may be a food cooperative or other things. Tell us about all that.
Absolutely. So you're correct as far as a lot of folks call them the skyscrapers of the rural part of the state. But Kansas actually has a lot of different types of cooperatively structured businesses. Some folks don't recognize or realize that credit unions are actually a cooperative business. We do have a couple of groceries in the state. We actually have some cooperative housing, farm credit, and probably the most functional and important, aside from ag, of course, is our friends at the electrical cooperatives that really provide electricity for a large portion of Kansas.
The cooperative spirit is one of not only neighbor helping neighbor, but I believe it got started just as a way to bring together to help folks, have some bargaining power when it comes to inputs, not only for households, but also, especially for production agriculture.
Absolutely. And you live in a rural part of Kansas, and so you understand, I'm sure, a lot more than most folks do. But when we saw the cooperative movement really take shape in Kansas, it was so that farmers could find a way to market their grain collectively and get more value from that. Today, we still see that. I mean, that's still really the function of the ag cooperatives in Kansas. It's economies of scale. It allows producers to come together cooperatively and really work together so that they can get access to maybe better prices on implementations of fertilizers and herbicides, pesticides. And it also helps some of those younger producers establish their farming operation by leaning on the cooperative as a partner in their business.
Brandi Miller is the president and CEO of the Kansas Cooperative Council. October is Co-op Month throughout the state and around the country. So we'll take a break. We'll continue this conversation in just a moment.
Would you like to see something done about high gas prices and low unemployment? Western Place Energy in Campus, Kansas is doing something about it. They're a proud part of Growth Energy, America's ethanol supporters, and they employ 38 people and will be adding more following the expansion. Ethanol fuel not only reduces the cost of regular gasoline, it's good for the environment and keeps money right here in the United States while supporting local rural jobs. Western Plains Energy, doing something for the future.
S&S Trailer Sales, with 2 locations in Ness City, Kansas, is where everybody goes to buy or rent trailers. They feature the all-new, all-aluminum Mauer grain trailer with all of the electric options, the easy-to-load detached trailers, and a huge stock of header trailers. At the west location, you'll find bumper poles, goosenecks, and oilfield specialty trailers, along with flat and utility beds for pickups. S&S Trailer Sales in Ness City and on the web, but remember, you do have to spell out the "and."
And our guest is Brandi Miller, who's the president and CEO of the Kansas Cooperative Council. October is co-op month. Brandi, let's get into the numbers, especially those ag folks that are part of cooperatives in Kansas.
Yeah, absolutely. So we know that there's over 100,000 Kansans that are members of co-ops in Kansas, and some of our surrounding states that also have locations in the state. There's over 575 locations in Kansas serving farmers across the state of Kansas, which is pretty incredible. And Kansas ag cooperatives actually employ over 5,000 folks to do a myriad of different things. We've seen that business structure change over time. Almost any job you can imagine, you could probably find in some capacity at a cooperative. And over 5,000 people is more than my hometown.
Wow, absolutely. It's a big deal, and there's celebrations, a lot of local celebrations. Also, the National Cooperative Association group is making a big push. There's actually a national theme for Co-op Month.
There is a national theme, and it's "The Future is Cooperative," and really it's setting up the stage for next year. So there's an international cooperative association, and in 2025 it's the year of the cooperative. And so I think the plan for this year is to kind of preview a sneak peek of what we've got coming for next year, where we're planning to quite a bit of education outside of our environment, so people really understand the value and impact that cooperatives have.
Well, co-ops in Kansas, only from grain elevators to grocery stores to other mercantiles to even something like cotton. I know the Kansas Co-op Council was very instrumental in kind of helping guide them to where they are today as far as being organized and being recognized. And so it seems like if you can dream it, maybe a cooperative way might be the way to go.
That's absolutely correct. We are so fortunate to have such great partners in the cotton space in Kansas. And often when I talk about cotton, most people have no idea that cotton is even grown in Kansas. So it's been fun to get to experience that and work with those groups.
Okay, well, Brandi, we sure appreciate the time to spend and we talk about and celebrate Cooperative Month. And like I said at the beginning, I think many celebrate, and there are some special things, and of course harvest going on kind of helps highlight that as well. So now folks go online and find some more things about maybe some of the co-op things that are going on year round in Kansas.
Yeah, absolutely. Please check us out on Facebook, Kansas Cooperative Council. You can also find us on our website. We try to post the different activities that not only we are doing, but also our members are doing as well. I just encourage you to go and check in. A lot of folks are very familiar with their local co-op. It's where they swing by most mornings. And so just get involved and find out what's happening in your local area.
All right, Brandi, again, thank you so much, and we'll talk with you again soon.
All right, Ken, thank you. Great to see you.
Yes, thank you. Brandi Miller, the president and CEO of the Kansas Co-op Council, has joined us. We'll take a break and be back with more in just a moment. Stay with us.
The cost of everything has gone up dramatically over the last 75 years. With one exception: keeping electricity affordable.
Wheatland Electric, delivering energy for life, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
1030 KBUF has ag information for you weekdays beginning at 6 with Agriculture Today. Then it's the KBUF Morning Show until 11 as we have newsmaker interviews as well as other information, ag news, market analysis, that all-important weather, and a whole lot of things to help you make good decisions on the farm and ranch. You can follow along on our social media pages or listen to KBUF or any Western Kansas broadcast station online at westernkansasnews.com. I'm Ken Rogers. Thanks for watching.